If you like the content of this channel, consider supporting us by using patreon.com or using Brave Payments. Click below in the description. And what's up, everyone? How you guys doing today? My name is Rex, and this is your Daily Chat Season 3, Episode 16 for June the 4th, 2018. How's everybody doing today? What is going on? What a weekend. I spent all weekend I spent every weekend just working, but you know, this was like a lot more work than normal. Definitely trying to get my YouTube channel back on track, trying to get scheduled releases out again for at least the Mondays. So I did shoot a video. I shot a bunch this weekend. I do just have to quickly throw some voiceover stuff and some quick editing for this week's video. So I will do that probably before I hit the gym, or if it's, you know, if it gets to be too late, I'll just quickly go hit the gym, come back and finish editing. But there will be a video going up, well, I guess now not on Monday, I guess on Tuesday. I'm really bad about my own deadlines. When it's deadlines for other people, I'm fine. When it's deadlines for myself, I am just the worst. I really got to get better about that. But yeah, so I shot that. I finally returned this god-awful router I purchased. It's by TP-Link. What a crap company. Never even heard of them. Okay, I've never heard of this company called TP-Link, but they had a router for 50 bucks. I'm like, well, when mine died, I purchased this as like a quick replacement because money was a little on the tight side. And yeah, for 50 bucks, I got about 50 bucks worth of quality. It was pretty horrible. So I replaced it with an Asus. Then I found out the Asus didn't have the gigabit LAN port, so then I replaced it with another Asus, and now we're back online, which is good. Like, all in all, my internet is stable again, which is what I need. Like, trying to stream on unstable internet is really bad, both on the upload and on the download. So I'm happy it at least works, but I have something on this machine I'm talking to you on, okay? I have something weird going on that is throttling my download speed at half of my rate, but yeah, my other computer above me has full speed front to back, and I cannot figure it out. I have examined every standard and a little bit of depth source I could possibly think of, and I cannot figure out what it is. I've screwed with all the settings, DNS, DHCP, all of that, and what I want to think is I either have some type of malware or spyware that's throttling, or Microsoft in their infinite wisdom pushed an update that screwed something up, and I don't know what they did. And I'm super willing to bet on either one of those answers, but probably the second one, because you know Microsoft, they love to push their updates without telling you. God, do they love it. But speaking of Microsoft, let's get right into it today. We only got 3 articles to go through, but we talked about this on the last episode. Microsoft was in talks to acquire GitHub. Well, as of today, we finally have some news about that. Microsoft to acquire GitHub for $7.5 billion. Never in my wildest dreams would I have thought that GitHub was worth $7 billion. I would have always assumed that maybe it's worth like 20 mil. Maybe 20 mil, maybe 30 mil. But that just goes to show my ignorance of the depth and the weight and the reach of something like GitHub. That just goes to show my complete ignorance on the subject matter. What's up, Wolfmeister? How you doing, man? So, yeah, $7.5 billion. Now, this obviously, anytime a transaction of one company to another goes beyond the 4 billion mark, it must go through government regulatory board approval, and this one is no different. They have said that under the terms of the agreement, Microsoft will acquire GitHub for $7.5 billion in Microsoft stock. So they're not getting any cash out of this. This is a whole stock and trade kind of deal, subject to customary closing conditions and completion of the regulatory review. Now, unlike a lot of things like the Verizon and the Sprint and T-Mobile merger, this one shouldn't have any trouble going through. This doesn't pose a monopoly of any sorts. It doesn't push out any competitors. This should go through no problem. And even in this article, they say it is expected to go through by the end of the calendar year. So in less than 6 months, GitHub will be part of the Microsoft family of products. Now, I know what you're thinking. Is this going to affect how you use GitHub if you're a developer? In standard PR fashion, we have Microsoft saying, no, GitHub will be standalone. They're going to operate independently. They're just going to be under the Microsoft banner. But, you know, you will be able to use all your stuff as you have with GitHub with no difference in quality or service. I find that... Sorry, don't mean to interrupt. That's a ton of money. Yeah, $7.5 billion is a whack ton of money, man. Like, that is an absolutely insane amount. In fact, I wonder, like, gosh, let me see here. GDP 2017. Here we go. World Economics GDP. $7.5 billion. Let's see how far that will actually take you. Because I have a feeling it's going to take you pretty far. It'll take you higher than most nations. Which, if you think about it, that's a little bit on the insane side. But yeah, they've stood by and said that, you know, they're not going to change anything. But we hear that so many times when these type of acquisitions go through. And every single time we always see a sheer drop in quality. We've never once really ever seen a increase in quality when one big company acquires another, I guess, big company. Now, like YouTube, when Google acquired YouTube, okay, we can say that was a positive move for a while, but even that's up for contention because some people really say that YouTube died when Google bought it. But I never really was not to say a fan, I never really was a user of GitHub, but at the same time though, I was just about to get started using it because it is a great repository site for just learning code and getting into computers on like the back end. GitHub is a fantastic resource. So I'm not really sure what to say here. I hope they don't change anything. I hope this isn't smoke and mirrors, but unfortunately, past performance is an indicator of future results, and well, this will give opportunity for something new to take GitHub's place, right? Right. If you guys have anything you want to say about this, by all means, do let me know. Always curious to hear what you guys have to say. Now we have, actually, let's move on to this one. Canada's parliament votes to protect net neutrality nationwide. So this is being brought about by the whole net neutrality debacle in the US. Ajit Pai, as you guys know, chairman of the FCC, has begun motions to remove net neutrality. It's being contested on a per state individual basis, so that's always cool. But as an overall thing, yeah, they're repealing net neutrality. And if you don't know what it is, Google it. It's been covered by much bigger people than myself and much better people than myself. But one of my biggest fears was always the fact that Canada is constantly trying to play America Junior. It's constantly trying to emulate everything America does. And I was really worried that something like this would come up north, would come up my way. And luckily now today, this isn't an official vote, but the fact that it's on the table in the Canadian Parliament that, you know, we're going to protect net neutrality, that's a good thing. That's a fantastic thing. Because you know what? Without it, we would be in a big world of hurt. Because Canada's telecoms agencies are very limited. Like, at least in America, you know, you have Verizon and AT&T and, not Rogers, Time Warner. You have all these different companies. Whereas in Canada, you have Bell Communications, Shaw Cable, TELUS Communications, and Rogers Communications. That's it. For the second largest landmass in the world, we got 4 telecoms companies. And then a few other little rinky-dink things that stand out. I'm glad that they're going to protect this. One other thing I'd like them to protect is what's called, what's it called? Local loop unbundling. That's what it's called. And what local loop unbundling is, it allows me to start up a company and lease the lines from a bigger telecoms agency, like a tier 1. It allows me to lease their lines so I can run my own ISP. Hopefully they protect that too, but I'm just glad they're going to protect net neutrality, so at least I don't have to worry about what's going down the pipe. And yeah, we should have more developments on this coming in like the summer-ish. We should have more things. Now, the final thing, we're going to skip over this story. The final thing today is YouTube is still restricting and demonetizing LGBT videos. So YouTube's track record with the LGBT creator isn't the great. This last year, YouTubers such as Rowan Ellis, Tyler Oakley, Stephen Bobby, Neon Fiona spoke up saying that the content was being hidden, demonetized, or age-gated. And YouTube responded with posts in April and May of 2017 that said their system sometimes makes mistakes, and in the understanding of context and nuances, the restriction mode should not filter out content belonging to individuals or groups based on certain attributes like gender, gender identity, political viewpoints, race, religion, or sexual orientation, and promised to fix the engineering issue. Over a year later, however, the same problems persist. In a series of videos posted on the YouTube channel, trans creator Chase Ross says that the past 3 weeks he's been dealing with age restrictions on his videos daily, and some of his older videos have been recently demonetized or stripped of revenue-earning ads, and others have been removed completely. He says YouTube regularly demonetizes videos with the word trans or transgender in the title, and even ran anti-LGBT ads on some of his videos geared towards the LGBT community. Oh my God, Google, what are you doing? Oh, Jesus. Look, I am the furthest thing away from being a software engineer. I am the furthest thing away from being a data center admin. I don't even know where to begin looking at that kind of stuff. But I got to imagine that it shouldn't be this hard to, write in whitelisted words that the filter ignores passing over videos like trans and LGBT and transgender. I got to imagine that those aren't super hard things to program in. Now, I could very well be wrong, but I don't think I am. And the fact that it's been over a year since we've gone through this whole debacle and YouTube still absolutely refuses to fix the problem. I don't know if YouTube is still trying to go the pseudo TV route. Like YouTube is kind of in the same position that pro wrestling is, where they're trying so desperately to appear legitimate and appear mainstream that they lost the essence of what brought the crowd in to start off with. They're so desperate for that Jimmy Kimmel money and that Stephen Colbert money that they're kind of just ignoring, all of the other creators that actually drive people to the website, like Philip DeFranco. His videos have been demonetized constantly in the last little bit. I'm assuming probably something like Casey Neistat probably gets hit every now and then with the demonetization for some of his content when he rails on YouTube. Like they're losing, they lost the essence of what brought them to the party. And this is just further facts that they're just giving up basically on the YouTube creators. And they're just going to try and push for more of that mainstream ad revenue, which, hey, you do you. If that's what you feel is the best way to go, that's fine. I would love to stand here and say today, well, this is the chance for a new source to pop up, a new YouTube to emerge from the ashes of the current one. But unfortunately, that was called vid.me, and that failed horribly. So I don't really know where to go from here. YouTube is really the only game in town. Where are you going to go? Daily Motion? Please. Vimeo? Ha! You're not going to Vimeo. No one goes to Vimeo. So I don't know what to really do here now. Like, YouTube is, clearly trying to make that ad money. They're not filtering the ads as well as they should. They're sure as hell filtering videos way more than they should. I'm just at a loss here, and I don't know where the next business move is going to take them. But hopefully they get this thing fixed and get this thing squared away, because God knows they need to get on their game. Well, guys, there you go. That is today's Daily Chat. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you look here up at the top, you see we have a YouTube sub counter. Trying to get back to 1,000 before the end of the summer. So, we need about 11. We need about 11 more to hit 700. Guys, if you like this video, do hit that sub button. Helps me out a lot. Other than that, guys, thanks so much for tuning in. I've been Arif with the Daily Chat. This is Season 3, Episode 16, and I will see all of you tomorrow. Bye.